Hey guys, this is Jiro for Umbra Games, playing a little Contra on the Nintendo Entertainment System today. Gonna try to go for a flawless, no-death playthrough. Been a few years since I've done that. Thought I'd see how rusty the skills were and if I could do it again. I have been playing for a couple hours. Try to remember how to play the game. So hopefully this playthrough can be the playthrough where it happens. Contra came out when I was 6 years old. First time we played was my brother's friend's copy. He knew the magical Konami code, which is very useful for a 6-year-old. I remember getting to the boss of this first stage, being absolutely excited about it, just because of one-shot kills, and you know, we were used to Zelda, or at least getting a mushroom on Super Mario Brothers and being able to take more than one hit. My gun of preference is the spread gun. As you can see there, it kind of waves out into a spray pattern. As you can also see, due to the Nintendo's limitation, you don't get a solid spray pattern every time you shoot the gun, because it could only have so many sprites on screen. See, so far so good. Stage 1 down. There are 8 stages. That was the jungle. We're now entering base 1 without a space. Spaces must have been difficult. The goal of these simulated 3D levels is to knock out the glowing, in this case, blue orb. You'll see I'm shooting the mounted guns here just to help take off some of the fire from me and get some additional points. The orbs take a few minutes before they'll open up, so I usually try to work around and kill everything I can in the room until then, and then knock out the orb. You will notice the electrical field in front too. If you press up or try to run forward, you'll get paralyzed and oftentimes set up to be destroyed. But it's pretty easy to avoid. And this one's a little bit bigger. This is the final room of the base before the boss. So get that knocked out, and you'll fight the first supercomputer boss. Now what we have to do here is take out the 4 glowing red circles, and when you do that, the boss will appear up at top. Usually try to knock out these guns first. Makes it a little easier when you're only having to dodge the boss's shots. Here we go. As you can see, the spread issue doesn't quite cover all the way across, so I move back and forth a little bit to make sure I get those circles out of the way. Now I'm not sure when it started or why it started, but it's sort of customary to, every time the level ends, run as far away as you can from the point that the animation's trying to take you. I guess I'd always fail in a speed run because that's what I always tend to do. Here's the game's first and only vertical stage, the Waterfall. This was a nightmare to play 2-player cooperative back in the day, because if someone's not keeping up with you and you try to step up, then vanishing off screen will end them. The B is a barrier, a force field that protects you for... never really got a time limit on it, but you can see them flashing red and blue here. Gotta be careful towards the end when you think it's gonna fade, because you don't get a warning before it goes, so usually start trying to avoid bullets again pretty quickly after that. These guys, if you can shoot them, you see them little scuba guys in the water, if you can shoot them on your way up when you make that jump to the next platform, then you can stop them. Those little grenades they fire will break on any platform that they so desire. Not really any way to tell graphically, so it's easier to just shoot them first and wait out the grenade. Okay, we'll climb this last part here. Got one soldier that's always standing there. The very difficult part of this game is not in the general set pieces, but in those soldiers that randomly spawn. They'll come out of walls, they'll just appear, and there's no way to plan for them. Usually a good idea. You don't have to kill the arms on this guy, but it definitely helps to not have those tentacles swinging at you, shooting more fireballs. You get a nice position right here where he can't get you, and the spread double hits him. Again, run to the side. For no purpose whatsoever. And now we enter base 2 without a space. This one has some other tricks up its sleeve. You see the brick, you have to break through here. I'll shoot it to get to the red orbs this time. This room was always difficult to figure out the most efficient way, because they open the 2 middle ones first and then the side ones. And, I mean, you can sit there and wait for the right 2 or left 2 before you start, but... there's another extra life. Okay, now we got 2 bricks here. This is where the spread is definitely advantageous. Just swing in and out and nail them both. Never could figure out why sometimes the grenade that rolls on the ground have holes to come out of, and sometimes they don't, but maybe it was too many things to add to a wall. I mean, I guess if they got slowdown or something, maybe that's why. As you can see, they just rolled there without having a hole to come out of. These red guys act as the weapon pods here in these stages. So if you've seen me shoot a couple of them, basically you can get rapid from them. I think the last guy gives you a fireball, which is the worst gun in the game. Maybe I'll try a no-death playthrough with the fireball sometime. That would be a real challenge. This one, you gotta get the jump, shoot at the peak of your jump in order to nail it. There we go, no problem there. This should be the last room. Usually try to take out the side guns, don't waste time getting the top guy. That was a close one. You can stand here to the side and shoot without him being able to hit me. Not very directional. Here is supercomputer number 2. This has 1 gun and 3 dots, but you have these guys running out at you. Usually try to get in there and avoid them. The blue ones will just jump down on you, they don't fire. Now this guy, his trick is he shoots these little bubble things at you, and if you allow too many of them on screen, it gets very difficult to hit. So basically you have to hit these guys. I know in the video it doesn't really look like you can see both coming together, but there's 2 images and they go side to side and then come back together, and you can only hit them when the images are on top of each other. There we go. We're halfway through. Ready to head to stage 5, the snowfield. Now this title has a space in it, so I don't know why the base 1 and base 2 don't. Okay, new things to watch out for here is these grenades, but you only have to watch out for them when they hit the ground. If you touch the grenade themselves, you won't get hurt, but if you're in the explosion, then you will. The M's the machine gun. I got one at the beginning of the game before I got my spread, but usually try to leave it alone as well. Now here you'll notice these little soldiers randomly coming in. There we go, shooting from the back, trying to hit you. Take a shot at you and then they'll outrun their bullet, so it sometimes can get you in a sticky situation. There we go again, shooting from far behind. Just got to keep an eye out for those. Alright, there's a fireball we'll try to avoid. Now you're going to see here really quickly, the only one in the game, this little glowing eagle thing. Oh, there it went, down in the hole. That will make every enemy on the screen disappear, if you can hit it. And then again, I mean, it would have taken out 2 enemies, so... And here we have the big bulldozers. They look really intimidating, but really we can just stand back right about where I'm standing as far as you can, and those bullets will go just touch the edge of your toe and not hurt you. We'll have a second one of those guys here in a little bit. The other guys to watch out for, I'm sure you've seen, are the ones in the standing pod guns. They fire really regularly, only fire at the top, so all you can do is just sneak under there and take them out that way. No problem. There's our second bulldozer. Step back here. I'm just using a regular NES controller. I don't use a Max or anything like that. Had to go through a couple of them actually because my up on one of them was running a little bit to the right when I hit it, and gotta have precision control in order to not die in this game. L is the laser. It's pretty fun to use, but again, it's one shot at a time. It is way more powerful than the spread, but once you launch another laser, your first one disappears, so that can get kind of tricky when you're going for a no-death playthrough. This UFO guy's pretty easy. You just got to get right underneath him here and shoot him as fast as possible. Door always reminded me of these constructs I had as a kid. They had little gray bars, and you could put the little blue pieces to make walls for them. Sorry, nostalgia moment. Stage 6 is the energy zone. I'm not sure why they call it energy zone exactly. There's some fire things, geysers, I guess it would be called, that you'll see coming up here soon. The random soldiers do learn to shoot across the ground, so that is something else you have to watch for. They won't do it very often, but just enough to catch you off guard. Here's our first fire spout. Just gotta trick it into going and then jump after it. This one always scary, and then this first one here can get you pretty far back. Again, just ducking and waiting for them, and they'll stay pretty rhythmic. They will glitch occasionally, but so far so good. One more of these. Now up coming here, we've got the barrier just on the other side of the wall, just like we saw in the earlier waterfall stage. And wait for these to fire together and go. And again, you got to be careful. Kind of watch your time. Usually you can make it to the end of this stretch here without much problem. Get through these. It actually works like a star in Mario Brothers. I mean, you can run through guys and it will kill them as well. Watch out for the tricky guys. Gotta time that jump, and we're good. Alright, on to the boss. We have a giant robot here. He's been kind of a pain to me today. Very unpredictable. He basically has just a couple moves, just the run. We have to jump over him, and he'll jump in the air. And, well, never mind. Guess we're not going to see any of it. He's been throwing these discs at me today, and usually they're 1 or 2 at a time, but he was throwing them 3 at a time earlier, and you really have to time your jump on him, but guess I won't get to show you that. Alright, up to 8 lives. Here's the hangar. Just 2 more stages to go here. Most of these usually keep to pattern. Again, I've had some trouble with these glitching out, but as long as if you're going to the top or going to the bottom in some of these split-offs, as long as you stick to one and go, you're generally okay. We have spiky walls gonna pop up on me. There we go. Pretty simple. Just take a few steps, make sure you know where you're stepping into. Not really sure how that's an efficient defense for a base, but okay, these carts, you can get hurt by them if you're in front of them, so you definitely have to watch out. Gonna avoid that power-up, not worth the trouble. Slip in between them here. And you can also ride the carts. Try to take the upper path here. Another extra life. I think that brings us up to 9. There we go. Upper path's easier. Don't have to worry about the claws at all. Or the guys randomly spawning on you. Should have a spike wall or 2 or 3. There we go. And we got 1 large set of claws left to go here. And they will alternate on you. 1 step at a time with the spike wall at the end. There he is, and done. Okay, final thing to watch out for here is there's always 4 more of those stand-up guns. 2 on this level and 2 on the next. With randomly spawning... Ooh, that was close. Randomly spawning soldiers. There we go. And this boss, you can take out those little purple guns down below, or you can just run up to the top of the door and crank it full of bullets. Alright, here we go. Final stage. Alien Lair. Almost there. I have made it here twice today without dying. And lost it on the Facehuggers that you'll see here. Basically, I have a series of 2 bosses. The barrier is very risky to rely on in this part because you don't have any screen frame of reference on when it's going to go out. So I usually try to play it safe after the first couple hits. We have the giant hot dog with teeth that spits shrimp. So far so good. Now the thing to watch out for here is these little mouths. If you let that little white fuzzy ammo get away from you, they will seek at you, and they will be difficult to avoid, so it's best to try to hit them as fast as possible. That would be a spread. We're not worried about that right now. Focus on getting these guys down. Show a few down below. get a good run at it, and your spread decides to shoot all the bullets it needs to, you can take these out generally without stopping, just in a nice, swift strafing pattern. There we go. A couple more in the middle. Dodge the glowing lava. Last few. Okay, Facehuggers gonna start here. You gotta watch out for these guys. I say Facehugger because they remind me of the ones from Alien. I'm sure there was no inspiration taken from that. And the final boss of the game is a giant heart. Just gotta watch out for the ones that jump on you here. So far so good. Extra life, and we're done. There we go. That's been about 10 years since I've done that. Now we get our fancy island blowing up. That's the ending we get for all of our hard work. And then the credits roll. In case you were wondering, we've been fighting the Vile Red Falcon, and we saved the universe. And I guess I will consider myself a hero. It's amazing how few people actually went into making a game like this back in the day. For the staff to be able to scroll that slowly and still make it in time for the credit music to end. So this is one of my favorite NES games. Been playing it for years, like I said, since I was 6. It's fun to just get it out and go through it once in a while. Super C, the sequel for that's pretty good. And there was a third one on NES that was pretty rare because of how late it came out, called Contra. And then of course we have Contra 3 on Super Nintendo, and many more from then on. But this one is my favorite. It's just a very solid shooter. I feel like I can control and dodge whenever I need. Very precise. Anyway, that about wraps it up. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.